We have the t-shirts back in stock, my darlings. What is delayed is not denied. We have it in blue since you loved it so very much indeed, my darlings. You better go ahead and get your t-shirt before it sells out, because I just might go ahead and do a yellow t-shirt for you and an orange t-shirt. You have to bear in mind, Baby Girl is a small brand. We are self-funding here, so I can only do so much. But yes, the t-shirt is back and I am living and loving. I also have a surprise for you. Yes. You asked and I said, why not? We have brought the black t-shirt back. What is delayed is not denied. Are we living and loving? Ah! Da, 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 da. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? Yesterday, we sat through an interview that Officer Tatum had with Nolan Wells's friend. His friend's name is Warren. Warren happened to be on the boat with Nolan going to Horn Island on the 4th of July. He also left Nolan on Horn Island on the 4th of July. We did a part 1 yesterday, and I said if Officer Tatum came out here and did a part 2, we would sit through the part 2 as well. So we're going to go ahead and sit through the part 2, okay?
Some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
If I'm sitting waist deep in water and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat. I open the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that too.
We're in Mississippi right now. We're getting ready to recount the exact path that the boys took, also with Nolan Wells, from where they docked the boat at, all the way out to Horn Island and back. The boys are going to explain to me exactly what went on, how many people were there, how many boats were taken out, which I think the world is going to be completely dumbfounded when they realize what the truth really is, because the lies have been pervasive. So we're right here where Nolan left on the boat, and you'll find out how many people were there, how many boats, and then we're going to take that same path out. I'm going to go look at Horn Island and see exactly where they could have been to get a perspective that the media don't even care to try to do. And then we're going to take the trek back and we're going to find out exactly what happened to Nolan. This is the reason why I'm here, man. I want you guys to have a voice. I want you guys to be able to speak out and show what the truth really is, and then let the world decide. I just don't want you guys to end up in a situation where your story never gets heard. Right here is where Nolan and probably 20 other kids got on the boat. So it's not just Nolan and 3 other kids. That was a lie. That was a myth. I'm going to prove that. Right here is where the kids were docking, and we're going to show you a video that coincided. I'm going to walk at the exact angle that the video is being broadcast from, so you know that I'm exactly where I say I am. But the boys were here. Tons of people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now, here's the angle that you're going to see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore, it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island. All right, you guys, sorry about the sunglasses. It's very bright out here, and I never wear sunglasses, but we're at Horn Island in almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here, but I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep, from way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously, this is a Monday, and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting ready to sink. And so, and for what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man. Get on the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was going to stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat. He didn't. And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody, pushing an agenda is wrong. And that's the reason why I came out here. I wanted to see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? You know, does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lie started. People were putting out on social media, knowing that they're lying, that this is what it was like on the day that Nolan and his friends came out here to Horn Island.
No.
And if it was 4 or 5 people and they came out here and Nolan was with them and maybe it was a few people out here like it is today and Nolan came up missing, then maybe it would be suspicious. But they didn't take the time to give context to the people because they're evil and they're liars. So if it was like that right now when the situation happened, I can see how people had a concern. But you got to replay this moment with thousands of people here. If anything would have happened directly involving Nolan and his friends, you can't tell me that thousands of people wouldn't have seen anything happen. And so that's pretty much why I wanted to come here and show you guys. This is what they want you to believe it was like on that day, which is a lie. They want you to believe they came to a secluded island, just 4 of them, and then Nolan is left behind, and then his body's washed up on shore, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat-out lie. Is there anything that you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, you know, where the island drops off and how the island works. But,
yeah,
you know, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July, you know, this is where people come out to celebrate. And, I mean, if you film the water, you can see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist-deep water right there to neck-deep. And then it drops from neck-deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't in a quarter mile off the island and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I wanted to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants. I mean, they're wet. And you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, you know, Memorial Day, like, you know, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, you know, if you're sitting on a pond, and no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back. Yeah. I mean, you know, especially the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like, no one has their phone, though, usually. I mean, unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand. They've been walking around Horn Island, you know.
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
I mean,
other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like, there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my boat. I mean, I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. I mean, to get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, you know, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. I mean, everywhere. Like, I mean, there was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like, we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, you know, and people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and, you know, they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, you know, and that's the way it is around here. You know, you don't take your phone and walk around the island. You know, there's plenty of phones on the boat and, you know, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And, I mean, we had 20 plus people on the spread between our 3 boats, so of course everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. You know, a lot of girls like to take pictures, you know, in the water, and so do guys. But you know, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, "Oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else." But as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's just common sense, man. I mean, and describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online. How hectic was it out here? I mean, right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here. But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So, like, how dense was it with people here?
Well, I mean, you look at all the videos, you know, that are spread out online, and a lot of them, you know, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know, you know that better than anybody, but I mean, there was boats lined up all the way down the island, and there was rows. There was a first row, there's a second row. We were in the 3rd row where it drops off, and then there was even boats in front of us. And this went all the way down towards the east end of the island, and then there was people on the east tip. And we're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that. I mean, 4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat. He didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically a pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit, and which is the, you know, by the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I think it's important for people to have the context of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen, and the beauty of all of this is that you guys have evidence to prove that. Of course, you asked Nolan to come on and different things like that. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
You know, giving me a rundown of kind of what it was like on that day, and hopefully people can understand what the truth is and make their own decision on facts.
Right. I mean, based off, like, you know, people. There's not a lot of people that are from the Mississippi Gulf Coast that don't understand Horn Island and don't understand the way boating works. And, you know, boating is a tight-knit community. I like to fish a lot, and, you know, there's, you know, everybody, a lot of people know a lot of people. Everybody knows everybody. I know a lot of fishermen on the Gulf Coast. They know me and my buddies because we like to go in the water all the time. I mean, that's what we do in the summer. And, I mean, a lot of people from the Gulf Coast know the truth behind, oh, you don't take your phone out the boat. You know, the little facts. It's a difficult subject. This Horn Island's like 11 miles long. You know, not to be exact, but around 11 miles long. It's not like this is a sliver of an island. It's a quarter mile. It's like a sandbar. No, this goes on to, even if we came around this corner right here, Brandon, we couldn't even see the end of the island.
Oh, really?
It is that long.
Really?
Yeah, I mean.
I thought that was the end right there.
No. I mean, it goes all the way down there, and I mean, it's a big island. There's a lot of people out here, and I mean, that's the truth. That's the way it was.
I don't know. This was a little bit painful to watch. If my son went out with his friends for a weekend because Nolan went and spent the night with Warren, and they all met up the morning of the 4th of July. If my son went out there and did not come back, best believe I need answers. And I would ask, why did you leave him? Here's the thing for me. Warren, I have a best friend too, and we've been friends for about 10 years. Hypothetically say that I left Christina on the island for whatever reason. The first question I would ask, Christina, how are you getting back? Because we're going with the boat. And I'm under the impression the other 2 boats were going back too. I need to ask her, Zach that she's staying with, that's her husband, how are the 2 of you getting back? I would have asked her in front of the guy. Then, all this horse and pony show talking about we left the phones and keys on the boat. I know that. But this is a unique situation where he's not coming back with you. So I would have put his phone in a plastic bag and I would have thrown it to him with the keys inside so that when he gets on shore, he's able to get into his car, he's able to call his mom, because his mom would be assuming that he would come back with all of you all. Mr. Tatum, everybody has an opinion and that's fine. I have an opinion too. But I would not be quick to say that the boys are innocent, because the same boys that same night dismantled their social media platforms. They lawyered up because one of the boys, Wyatt, I think his stepmom is a judge, and they lawyered up. The way Warren is talking so freely at a scene of where he lost his friend, I personally would be in pieces. And I know everybody mourns differently. But I know that if, God forbid, if this was Christina, I would physically be very different. You would see that. Because I would be mourning the friend of whom we were in a group chat, supported me, was always smiling. This is still very, very fresh. We are in July. Today is the 23rd of July. He passed away on the 4th, I'm assuming, because the body came on shore on the 6th. So for me, I really just wanted, okay, what's my takeaway? I now see that the island is huge, that it's about 12 miles long. I now understand how frightening that water is. That's a sea as far as I am concerned. It gives me even more concern because, as Mr. Tatum was saying, Nolan was last seen around 6:30. I don't know. It makes me feel some kind of way because Warren, you said in the first interview you were friends since you were in the 8th grade, since you guys were 8 years old. And you went out the year before to Horn Island to celebrate the 4th of July. I need to understand, and Katie is cooperating with the police, when last did you see Nolan? I just find it really, really very, very, very strange that you would think, the 2 of you, that this is normal behavior. Mr. Tatum thinking that this is proof and people are telling lies. People are not telling lies. People are trying to find out what happened to Nolan. And I am putting myself 10 toes deep in his mother's place. I am a mother of a son. And if my son went out there, best believe I want to know what happened to him. You can't just come to me and tell me, oh, well, maybe this, that, and the third. No, it's not enough. For somebody that went out there 10 years, for somebody who was confident enough to say, let me stay back. And that's the catcher in the rye for me. It's the $1 million question. That's you telling me that Nolan said that. But we will never know if that was the case. Okay, Katie is there. Katie again, dead end. Oh, he said he was going back with his friends. So I don't even understand. This is a little bit crazy to me. You were not curious as to whether he got on a boat. You just got on a boat and went. This is the kind of this is the kind of concern you have for a guy that seemed to like you, kinda. You didn't. You just walked off. Then again, I'm getting wind that you met him for the first time on the island. So I can understand in a way, maybe just some random guy talked to me and you were gone. It just gives me pause because this doesn't tell me anything. If anything, it just tells me how cold. And it just tells me how, okay, if I got back on land, let us say, and Christina's husband called me and said that Christina's not back, I would be shocked. Then I would have said, I have her keys and I have her phone. Again, it wouldn't wash because I would have given her her keys and her phone, but just for argument's sake. Then I would have said, okay, where are you? We have to go back. We have to go back, or start calling right away. Use your social media to find out who saw Christina last. And if we all came back with nothing, believe you me that we are calling search and rescue. We're calling search and rescue because they would have long lens lights, because they would be able to have the horns out there, mics out there, anything, just in case. Again, she would have had her phone, because look at the situation now. We have her phone. Doesn't make sense. She should have her phone so that we could call her and say, what's going on? We will start going back. And I would start praying and I would start crying and we would start SOS all over the place. Yes, we would. And we would have gone back to Horn Island to find out where she was. This Katie person, I don't know, baby. I don't know. I would have a different kind of concern. I'm like, Katie, do you have a number? Can we have a number for you? Just in case you guys want to be, slick out here. We need to know, and make sure that Nolan is back. And this is the disconnect for me. I'm just going to say this and drop it down in the comments if I'm exaggerating or I'm being over dramatic. I would have reached out to Nolan's mother ASAP. I would have been like, Nolan's mom, this is Warren. I'm good friends with your son. We left him behind. I'm a little bit nervous because I've got his keys. I've got it. We will come to you. And then we're going to go back out there and find him. I couldn't, in any capacity, be so calm. In less than 20 days, less than 3 weeks, and go back out to Horn Island where I lost my best friend. I'm emotional because stop. This mother and father and friends, community, I don't know. Okay, let me say this. It doesn't feel good. It feels very cold, and I see why the whole of America is looking at this with a huge side eye. 100%. Because you're showing me what you didn't do. And that's why my attention is directed to you. Because it's not normal behavior. And that begs the question, what did you do to him then? It doesn't matter that they had gone, that they had this. Nobody can give us a timeline. You said somebody saw him at 6:30ish. Who is the somebody? Who is the somebody? because then we can remove the frames. Until then, we cannot remove them. Anyway, Benjamin Crump held an independent autopsy result of Nolan, and it was inconclusive, needless to say. What they had to say was that there were parts of his neck that was missing, and there was bleeding in the back of the head, and it could not be determined. It could not be determined if there was foul play involved. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let's be real. It does not make sense.
Presented this report on July 19th. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death undetermined, pending investigation. But he said the throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined, pending investigation. Remember, it's about transparency. He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water. He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water. He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death. He said, definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out, and let me really call your attention to this. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand, he said based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play.
Wow. And that's where we stand. Drop it down in the comment section for me, my darlings, and you tell me what you think. Foul play cannot be ruled out. There was a lot of blood in the back of the head when it was resting, and we have no idea why. Some people have said that could have been on the first autopsy that they had in Mississippi, that the blood came and rested in the back of the head. But then it occurred to me, what about the back of the back? That the whole body, it's not only the head, it would have been the whole body that you would have had masses of blood resting upon. Why did you give the body up for a second autopsy, missing other parts of its neck? Maybe because you haven't finished with the autopsy or the toxicology report. So I'm under the impression that we're going to get more information, and I will be here to update you. Thank you very, very much, my darling Fumi Nation. I am getting so many emails, so many DMs, and read through as many as I can. But I will say, I am not feeling part 2. it's doing more harm than good. You're not justifying anything. The only thing that you justified is that I did not know so many people knew each other and all came out on 3 separate boats. What I would have loved to know, and I wish, and I feel humbly, also drop it down in the comments if I'm being a little bit oversensitive. I feel as if Officer Tatum, you're just going along with what Warren is saying. You're not interviewing him. You're making it easy for him, because Warren should have come out with all of this from the following day. Then we wouldn't have bothered. Then we wouldn't have felt that we were looking at red flags. It took you 3 weeks to come and tell us all of this. You should have said this instantly, trace by trace, minute by minute, blow by blow. Then we would have known, okay, you are also concerned about Nolan's welfare. But you all loyaled up. Then you all deleted your Instagram accounts. Of course I'm going to start coming for you. Of course I'm going to look in your direction. You were the ones that were seen with him last. Or is it me? Is it me or what? I don't know. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you. What? I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. All of my love. This is an old top. When I tell you old, I think I bought it when I first got married. The irony of it is that it's a 2-piece. It's a blouse and it's a sweater. I bought this sweater in Italy, and I bought little jersey in New York. I bought them in 2 separate places, and they were a set. I did not know. I looked everywhere for a skirt or for whatever it came with, and nothing else. So I just thought I'll let you know about that. And then these are like really old tear-away jeans. I never wear them, but I decided, to throw them on today because time is against me. All of my love, my darlings. Stay, be careful. I'm learning personally. I am learning a lot about this, and I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to the Wells family. I don't know what to say, but I will do my best and I'll continue digging. All of my love. I am so excited. I mean, talk about keeping it in the family. For those of you that don't know, I was a beauty queen. Yes, I was Miss West Africa 1990. Yes, decades ago. And then it's come back full circle with my beautiful niece Farah, who is competing to be Miss Alberta. I want you guys to sponsor, to support her. She has a wonderful support page. Please go right ahead and support her. Please, please, please. She is absolutely beautiful and amazing. I remember when Farah was born, and to see her now walking on stage and winning all of these beauty competitions just warms my heart. So I want to use my platform to spread the word out there. Please support my wonderful niece Farah, and just click onto the link and give her all the support that you can. I will deeply I will deeply appreciate it. And Farah, congratulations. Congratulations. Well, you're my daughter anyway, because I don't have daughters. So you are my daughter. It doesn't matter who birthed you. You're my daughter. And I am so proud of you. Fumi Nation, this is the first. Yes, my darlings. The next generation doing wonderful and amazing things. And for Farah to walk out on these platforms and really follow in my steps, in my footsteps, I am absolutely speechless. And I want you to support her. Okay, all of my love. Thank you for everything. I love you guys. Mwah.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking